Now we go to the race for 320th District Court Judge in the Republican primary. We are joined by Stephen Denny and Judge Pamela Sermon. We will begin with Mr. Denny. The first question is, what has been the nature of your law practice during your career, and how long have you been in practice?
I've been in practice over 20. My law practice has ranged from capital felonies where the death penalty is as a prosecutor and as a defense attorney, Class C misdemeanor tickets in municipal court. My practice has taken me from all over the state, including I represented some in the Waco biker shooting. I've had multiple trials over those 20. And because of that experience, I was also able to go as a justice advisor to Afghanistan and work with Afghan judges, defense attorneys, and police in training them how to use their legal system and how to set up and make things work more efficiently. I've been on both sides of the fence in the legal community and believe all that experience would be relevant to being a judge as well.
Same question for Judge Sermon. What has been the nature of your law practice over your career, and how long have you been in practice?
I've been licensed in the state of Texas for 32 years. I'm licensed in the state and federal courts. I spent the first 8 years as a prosecutor in the county attorney's office. I did 3 years misdemeanor prosecution only. And then, 5+ years, I was the CPS attorney. In other words, I did all the custody cases for the child neglect cases that involve children and families in CPS. I did a year in private practice doing family and criminal cases only while I ran for court. I was a county court at law judge in Potter County for 20 years. I was elected to the 320th District Court. It started January 1st, 2019. I've been there 3 years and almost a month. I do felonies. I do 33% of the felonies, 35% of all the family law cases. I do 20% of the tax and 15% of the civil cases. So I do it's called a general jurisdiction. We do some of everything. We do bench trials and jury trials and hearings on motions.
We will go with Judge Sermon on this next question. Discuss what sort of cases you would be hearing as a judge in this court and your experience with those types of cases.
Kind of a repeat of the last question. The 320th District Court, there are 5 district courts, and the 320th is one. We do all cases, family, criminal, civil, and probate. No, not probate, tax. The criminal cases, for every 100 felony cases filed, I get 33 of them. For every 100 family law cases, I get 35 of them. So that's the bulk of my cases. I do felonies from everything from capital murder down to state jail felony offenses. My family cases are termination of parental rights, child custody, divorce, paternity actions. Civilly, I can do a case that involves all the way up to multi-million-dollar cases, which we do have some of those, of course, med-mal cases. And tax cases are just what they sound like. It's when there's foreclosure for failure to pay your property taxes. And we do jury trials and bench trials on all those.
Exactly the same question for Mr. Denny. What sort of cases would you be hearing as a judge in this court, and what is your experience with that type of case?
Well, I've got a wide, varied range of, as I said before, my criminal experience is extensive, and so I'm not going to go over that again. But also, as a referring attorney and as a principal attorney, I've handled cases. Some of those, like we were talking about, up to the jurisdictional limits of the court, multi-million-dollar cases in both Amarillo and in Lubbock. I've also handled civil cases in the matter of tax representation, people that are accused of not paying their taxes. So obviously I haven't represented the government on that side of it, but I have represented the taxpayer before. A good bit of family law in my history. I'm not currently focusing on that, but I have represented many people on divorces, and I've also done CPS actions, including appeal of CPS determinations by other judges.
Next question, staying with you. What are some of the issues in the justice system that need to be addressed in the county this court serves?
Well, I think the biggest issue every single defendant that you come in contact with is likely suffering from some sort of mental health issue. Just violation of the statute probably designates them as a person with a antisocial personality disorder. And so you have to treat every person they have a disorder, because a lot of them haven't been identified as such. I think we're letting a lot slip through the cracks. And because of that, we've created a burden on the system, because those people are being just treated and released, if you want it, by the legal system. They're getting sentenced to something, they're being put on probation, and then they're being let back out without addressing their mental health capacity. We do have a new court here that's addressing that, but I think that is something to focus on and save the taxpayers a lot of money.
And now turning that final question to Judge Sermon, what are some of the issues in the justice system that need to be addressed in the counties this court serves?
Big issue, I think, is the lack of attorneys in Amarillo. Quite frankly, we have the courts and the availability to hear cases, but we don't have attorneys to either prosecute them or defend them. Amarillo has seen our attorney population, quite frankly, die out and age out, and we don't have young lawyers coming in. The county, Potter County and Armstrong County, have gone together and they're creating a public defender's office and a managed attorney program in order to attract these attorneys into our courts, into Amarillo, to work on these cases. I think it is extremely important we get the bodies here to represent the people. I agree also with Mr. Denny. Mental health is a huge issue. It gets a rotation in and out of the jail system. We've established a mental health court in Potter County that has just got approved last month or this month. And so we hope that will help. We'll identify those individuals as they come into the jail and put them into the mental health court where they can seek treatment. We also have a specialty veterans court for the same purpose.